Hello everybody, welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, gentle practice today. I recently injured myself, hurt my back, so I've been really babying myself and going through a gentle practice with some gentle somatic movement to help release tension from my low back area. So I thought it might be helpful for some of you as well. Even if you haven't had an injury, maybe you just have a lot of tension. We can hold a lot in this low back area. So we'll do some gentle movement to hopefully release that. But err on the side of caution, be gentle with yourself. As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself. And please feel free to join me on the mat now. We'll come down onto our back, starting in Shavasana for a moment or two, and you can find what feels good for you, either legs extended down the mat, can come all the way down, arms out to the sides, hands facing up, or you could turn palms to face down, or you could bring hands to rest on the belly, or one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And just take a moment to land and to check in with yourself. How are you feeling today? Just becoming aware, observing what's happening for you in your body, in your mind, with your emotions, with your energy. And as always, letting go of any judgment, just being curious and being kind to yourself. Let your whole body relax from your feet up through your legs, into the hips and the pelvis and the buttocks and the belly, and relax through your low back and your mid back and your upper back. Relax the whole front of your torso. Relax your ribs, your rib cage, spaces in between the ribs. Relax across your chest, your collarbones, your shoulders, your arms, hands and fingers. Relax your neck, your throat. Relax your jaw and your face and your eyes. Relax your forehead, your scalp, and the crown of your head. Letting everything soften. And then you can release your hands and you can flutter the eyes open if you had your eyes closed, and then we'll bend the knees. Bring yourself into this hook line position with the knees bent, pointed up towards the ceiling, feet planted on the mat about hip width distance. You can have the arms still out to the sides, or bring the arms down, palms facing down on the mat. And then we'll begin to move through a few rounds of some gentle pelvic rocking. Just gently tilting your tailbone up and down. So as you inhale, you can tilt the tail down towards the mat and begin to arch through the back of the heart. Feel the back sort of peel up off of the mat. And then as you exhale, tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling, and you begin to feel your back body press down towards the mat. And then gently roll through these little pelvic rocks. Doesn't have to be anything big. And then bring yourself back to a neutral spine. And then we will take the right hand behind the back of the right head, or behind the right side of the back of your head. And then we'll pick up the right foot, bring that right shin sort of parallel-ish to the mat, and then take your left hand across your body to that right knee or shin. And then we'll move through some more pelvic rocking, but keeping the right leg in this position and the right hand in this position behind the head. And then we'll inhale, tilt the tail down, feel that arch through the back. And then this time as you exhale, tilt the tailbone up, and then peel head, shoulder, torso up off the mat. Draw that right elbow towards the right knee to your degree. It doesn't have to get there, just going in that direction. And then inhale, you take it down, find that arch through the back. Exhale, you curl yourself back up. Right elbow moving towards that right knee. Inhale, bring it down, arch the back. Exhale, you curl it back up. And then bring yourself down and then drop that right foot down to the mat. And now we'll pick up the left foot shin up off of the mat. Take the left hand to that left knee or shin. And then we'll move through some pelvic rocking like this. Inhale, tail tilts down. This time as you exhale, you'll tilt the tail back up. Curl up and draw your right elbow in the direction of your left knee. Inhale, you bring it back down, tail tilts down, arch the back. Exhale, curl it up, right elbow moving towards left knee. And then you inhale, bring it down. Exhale, curl it back up. Right elbow crossing over towards that left knee, and then bring yourself back down. Drop the left foot down. We'll switch hands now. So bring your left hand behind the back of your head. Left elbow out to the side. And then we'll pick up that left knee. Bring your right hand over to that left knee. And then we'll inhale, tilt the tail down. Exhale, curl it up. Draw the left elbow towards the left knee. Inhale, leg stays as it is. You bring the arm down. Tilt the tail down towards the mat. Exhale, you curl yourself in, bringing the left elbow towards that left knee. Inhale, you curl it back down, arch the back. Exhale, one more time, curl up, elbow to knee, and then bring it down, and then we'll switch. Drop the left foot down to the mat. Pick up the right foot again, and we'll take the right hand to that right knee or shin. Inhale, tail tilts down. Exhale, curl yourself up, drawing that left elbow towards the right knee now. Inhale as you curl down, arch through your back. Exhale, bring it up. Draw that left elbow towards the right knee. Inhale, curling down. Exhale, last one, curl it up. Left elbow moves towards that right knee. And then release yourself down, drop the right foot down. Now let's take both hands back behind the head. You can interlace the fingers behind the head, or just bring the fingers to the back sides of your skull. Then we'll move this into a few more rounds of pelvic rocking. Inhaling, tilt the tail down. Exhale, tilt the tail up. Curl the elbows up around the ears. Curl up and lift up to your degree. Again, don't need to push it. Inhale, you bring it down. Elbows come wide. You arch through your back. Tilt the tail down. Exhale, curl yourself up. Elbows wrap around ears, curl it up. Inhale, lower back down, elbows wide, tail tilts down, arch the back, up. And as you exhale, curl yourself back up. Elbows circle around the ears. And then you release yourself down. Take the arms out to the side, send the right foot up towards the ceiling, and then cross that right ankle in front of that left knee or thigh. Press down into your left foot and begin to slowly lift your hips up off of the mat to your degree. It doesn't have to be much. Slowly lower your hips and your sacrum back down to the mat. We'll drop the right foot back down to the mat. Send the left foot up towards the ceiling. Bend that left knee. Cross it in front of that right leg. Press into the right foot. Lift your hips up. Slowly release hips back down. Draw knees into your chest, arms wide out to the side, palms facing up, and then drop both knees over to your right side. Allow them to come all the way down, and then extend out through your left leg, top leg. Reach out through your left fingers and out through your left foot, so fingers and foot are pulling away from each other. And you could keep the left leg, foot hovering, or if it's available to you, you could reach that left foot down towards the floor. and then rebend that left knee, stack it back on top of the right. Bring yourself back into center, drop knees over to the left, extend out through the right leg, reaching right hand, right foot away from each other. And then again, you could keep that right foot hovering or could lower it down to the floor. And then rebend that right knee, stack it back on top of left, pull yourself into center. Inner edges of feet together, inner legs together. Take hands to knees or shins. Roll your knees around in a few little circles. Finding this gentle low back massage. And then switch the direction of your circles. Bring your knees back to center, and now send your feet up towards the ceiling, bend the knees, can take hands behind the thighs, happy baby modification, pull the knees in, thighs in towards the chest, and either stay here, or if it's available, you can reach your hands up for your feet, happy baby, and then you could stay at center or give yourself some gentle little rocks from side to side. And then bring yourself to center. Release the feet, draw the knees into the chest. Keep hold of the right knee and extend that left leg down the mat. And now take that left hand to the right knee. Gently draw the right knee across your body over towards the left side. Little spinal twist. Slowly bring that knee back up to center, and then we'll switch. Extend right leg down the mat. Bend the left knee, hands to that knee or shin, hug it in, take the right hand to that left knee or shin, and then slowly guide that left knee over towards the right side. And then bring yourself back up. Knees into the chest, roll yourself over to one side, press yourself up, and we'll come into a seated position. And you could face the long edge of your mat like I am here. And then step your feet wide, knees bent, take the hands behind you, and then we'll begin to wave your knees from side to side. So over to the right, and then wave the knees back up through center, over to the left. And then continue to wave the knees from side to side. So as you do this, you're bringing your legs into this stag position. And then you can lean back on the hands, sweep the legs over to the other side. Few more times moving through this. And then the next time you drop your knees over to your right side, look over that right shin. And then you could stay here. You could reach forward with that left hand, or you could begin to reach over towards your right side. You could even come down onto the forearms over on the right side of your mat, or maybe even come down onto the right forearm and reach out through that left hand. So just seeing what feels okay, what feels accessible for you, and then we'll come back up. Lean back on the hands, sweep the knees over to the left side. Face that left shin, maybe reach that right hand forward, or maybe spin it to the left a little bit. Maybe come down onto the forearms over towards that left side. Could also reach that right arm out. Just seeing where you get some opening, some sensation through that low back area, that thoracolumbar fascia. And then slowly bring yourself back up. And then can come over onto the knees, and we'll find our way into a child's pose. And let's start with the knees together in this child's pose. Start by coming back to sit on your heels, and then slowly fold yourself forward. Rest your forehead down on the mat, or you can make a little pillow with the hands, with the forearms, and rest your head there. And then just take a few deep, smooth, and steady breaths in your child's pose. Sending your breath into the back of your body, into that low back area, into the back of your lungs. And then we'll slither forward onto our belly from here, finding our way into Sphinx pose. Spread the fingers, forearms come down, shoulders lined up over your elbows, pressing into your fingers and your toes and your pubic bone, and then pull your heart forward, lift your gaze. And then we'll move through some little pelvic rocking here, just really slight movement. Can draw your chin in towards your chest, feel a slight rounding through your back. And then pull the heart forward through the arms, lift the tail, and then again, chin drops down to the chest, little rounding through the back, tail drops down towards the mat. Maybe the hips even lift up off the mat a little bit, and then again, pull the heart forward, tail lifts, heart lifts, curl yourself back in, chin to chest, rounding through back, tail drops down. Come back into your Sphinx. Hands come under your shoulders. Press yourself up into a table position. And then we'll send the right foot back. Come onto the ball of that right foot. Press out through that heel and then gently rock yourself back and forth. Taking the weight into the hands and then pressing out back through that back heel. And then we'll lift up the right foot, bring it about hip level-ish, and then draw that right foot over towards the left side. Maybe it comes off of your mat. Take a little peek over towards that right foot. Oh, hi, sweet kitty. Hi, sweet girl. And then lift that right leg up behind you again. I have a little helper here. A couple little helpers now. Guys. And then we'll step that left foot back, come onto the ball of the left foot, and then gently pulse yourself back and forth here. And then we'll lift that left foot up hip level-ish and draw that left foot over towards the right side. It'll come off the mat a little bit. Take a peek over towards that left foot, little crunch through that right side body, and then bring yourself back to center. Release that knee down to the mat, and then we'll root into the left fingers, peel the right arm up towards the ceiling, and then send that right arm down to the mat. Come onto the outer right arm, right cheek, right temple. You could come up onto your left finger pads. You could reach that left arm up the mat or up towards the ceiling. And then we'll again plant that left hand, bring yourself back into your table, reach left arm up towards ceiling, thread that arm underneath your chest, come down onto that outer left arm, right finger pads, where you reach your right fingers up towards the top of the mat or up towards the ceiling. And then plant that right hand. Bring yourself back into your table, and then from here we'll take it into Anahatasana or puppy pose. Keep the hips lined up over the knees. Walk your hands forward. Slowly release your forehead down to the mat. Or you could stack the arms again, make a little pillow, and rest the forehead on the arms. And then slowly bring yourself back up, hands underneath the shoulders again. And then let's inhale, tilt the tail up, draw the heart forward, find cow pose here. And then exhale, press your hands into the mat, round up through your back, tail tucks down, and then slowly press your bum back to your heels, coming into child's pose. Soften the elbows, inhale, pull yourself forward again, tail tilts up, heart lifts, finding cow. Exhale as you press into your hands, pressing the floor away, rounding up through the back, tail drops down. pull your bum back to your heels. And then again, we soften the elbows, pull it forward, tail tilts up, heart lifts. And then you round up through the back, find that cat, and then pull your bum back to your heels. And then one more time, soften the elbows, pull yourself forward, lift heart, lift tail, and then round up through the back. Pull your bum back to your heels, coming back into your child's pose. And then from your child's pose, let's walk hands over to the right. And then see where you get some nice sensation. Reach out through the left fingers or the right fingers. And then walk your hands back through center. And then walk your hands over to the left. And then walk your hands back to center. Pause once more here in your child's pose. And slowly, slowly bring yourself back up to sit on your heels. And then drop over to one hip. Swing your legs around and bring yourself back into a comfortable seated position. Bring your palms together at your heart. We'll come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, compassionate with ourselves. I hope this short practice helped open up that back area, and I hope it made you feel a little bit better. With love and gratitude, thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste.